Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Hector Molina in for Doreen Scanlon. We start with the weather. Not much of a threat right now, but that could definitely change as we go on throughout our day. Meteorologist Nick Morganelli joins us live in the weather studio. Nick, pretty murky out there, but the worst is coming later on.
That's right, Hector. Just clouds right now. Not much wind to speak of right now either, but we certainly will have the wind ramping up this afternoon, and the rain should be arriving in about an hour to 2 hours, depending on where you are across the state. 56 right now. It is a very balmy day. A south-southeast wind now picking up 20 miles per hour. And here are your temperatures across southern New England. Everybody's got mid to upper 50s pretty much. You find a 37 there up in Springfield, Massachusetts. The cooler air sitting in the valley there. But we are warm here in southeastern Mass. Check it out. Wind gusts are coming in at over 40 miles per hour by this evening inland, and over 50 potentially at the shoreline and for the islands. So the wind advisory in effect from the National Weather Service starting at 1 o'clock and going through 1 o'clock in the morning. So those gusts, they'll peak between 3 and 8 o'clock. There'll be some ponding on the roadways for the evening drive. It's the worst possible scenario as far as the timing on this. And the rain ends after 8 o'clock. There's the rain right now. It's already approaching the western border of Rhode Island, and you can see the moderate elements of rain in the darker green. We have heavier rain. You can look way off to the west out in central Pennsylvania. That will take a little while to get in here, but you see we do have on our futurecast by 4 o'clock some moderate to heavy rain coming down for the evening commute. Here comes the cold front. It pushes in and pushes the heavy rain east by 7 o'clock. And then by midnight or so, it's clearing out here. Temperatures falling sharply, a good 20 degrees during the evening. So the forecast tonight, 34 for the overnight low with a clearing sky, but the wind will be busy. We'll talk more about the actual wind forecast and see how high those gusts will get. And we'll look at the 7-day and split weekend coming up in just a little bit. Hector?
All right, developing news now out of Fall River, where a police officer was arrested this morning. He's accused of assaulting a man with a baton while he was already in police custody. U.S. Attorney Rachel Rollins' office says 35-year-old Nicholas Hoare was indicted for deprivation of rights and filing false reports. He's due in federal court at 1:45 today up in Boston. He allegedly assaulted a man in custody in December of 2020. He faces up to 50 years in jail. Providence police say a man stole a car and then took off from a liquor store last night. But that's where the case takes a twist. Police say there was a 3-year-old child in the back seat. ABC6 News reporter Natalie Norrie is live in Providence with the new details at noon. Natalie, what can you tell us?
Hey, Hector, the man charged with the possession of a stolen motor vehicle that had a 3-year-old child in the back seat is facing felony charges this morning. Last night, Providence police arrested Osvaldo Vasquez on Charles Street. Prosecutors say the child's mother left the vehicle running with the toddler in the car while she was at Fernandez Liquors. That's when Vasquez allegedly jumped in and drove away, later abandoning the car here at the Omni Hotel downtown. Vasquez was later seen exiting a RIPTA bus, where police were finally able to make the arrest.
I don't even think that he knew there was a baby back there, though. That's what I don't believe that he knew, because it just that was just a real bad decision for him to make about with someone's kid in the car.
And Vasquez will be seen later today at Superior Court for violating the conditions of his previous bail for charges on robbery. But we'll have more on that first at 4. For now, reporting live in Providence, Natalie Norrie, ABC6 News.
Happening now, it's been 8 years since Britain's future king, Prince William, and his wife Kate have been in the U.S., and now they're coming to New England. The couple arriving in Boston today and will be there until the end of the week. ABC's Derek Dennis takes a look at the week ahead for the Royals.
Coming to America, the Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Kate, arrive in Boston today for a 3-day visit.
They are absolutely thrilled to be coming to Boston, in particular because it's the birthplace of President John F. Kennedy.
The Royals' main event this week will be to hand out the Earthshot Prize. Inspired by JFK's moonshot speech, it's awarded to people for their commitment to the environment. It's William and Kate's first visit to the U.S. since 2014 when they met Beyonce and Jay-Z at a Brooklyn Nets game and then traveled to Washington where William met then-President Barack Obama, William as a new dad.
Something forgot to ask. Actually, it's a boy. Yeah.
But a lot has changed since then. Americans now have a better understanding of royal life thanks to Netflix's The Crown.
How did it come to this?
And it comes amid William's strained relationship with his U.S.-based brother, Harry. The last time we saw the brothers and their wives together was in September as they mourned the Queen in what appeared to be a rare moment of reconciliation. But the rift remains, and in just over a month, Prince Harry's much-anticipated tell-all book, Spare, is set for release, expected to explore the bad blood with William. Harry and Meghan are also set to visit the Northeast in a few days, but it's unlikely they'll see William and Kate face-to-face. In Boston, security is expected to be at levels not usually seen in the state.
With the royals coming, it also involves the intelligence community on a global scale.
William and Kate's itinerary includes a stop at Boston City Hall to visit the mayor, the JFK Presidential Library and Museum, a visit to a tech startup, and a stop at Harvard University. By the way, President Biden is also visiting Boston on Friday. No word yet if he'll meet William and Kate. Derek Dennis, ABC News, New York.
New at noon, police on Massachusetts South Shore are investigating a double homicide and looking for the suspect you see on your screen right here. Plymouth County DA Tim Cruz says Marshfield police found a man and a woman dead in a home there last night. Cruz says this does not appear to be a random act. Police say they're looking for the man you see, 27-year-old Christopher Keeley, considered armed and dangerous and may have changed his appearance. They don't believe he's in the Marshfield area, though, as of right now. A public hearing set for tonight as a new Massachusetts state regulation on septic systems threatens to force tens of thousands of dollars in repairs for some Bay Staters. Put simply, the state wants to limit the amount of nitrogen pollution around Buzzards Bay. Dartmouth's Board of Health held a public forum last night at the middle school to explain the possible change to residents. The new regulation would require upgrades to older septic systems that Dartmouth officials say could cost homeowners anywhere between $10,000 and $50,000.
Nobody in Buzzards Bay was brought to the table to come up with a solution to these concerns. This is going to affect everyone else while they struggle for food, struggle for electricity, struggle to heat their homes.
Environmental advocates say this change is necessary and people are going to pay either way. Eventually with higher taxes and less tourism, if not personally. Tonight's statewide public hearing is in Lakeville at Massachusetts DEP on Riverside Drive at 6 o'clock. Looking ahead to tomorrow now. Tomorrow is the first day of December, and that's a big day for recreational pot users as retail dispensaries in Rhode Island will start the adult sale of marijuana 6 months after the Cannabis Act was signed into law by Governor Dan McKee. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigelis spoke with local police on their final prep before sales go live.
December 1st marks the official start of adult sale of marijuana in Rhode Island, meaning anyone over the age of 21 will now be able to purchase pot legally.
We're expecting large crowds tomorrow. 5
dispensaries across the state certified by Governor McKee and the Rhode Island Department of Business Regulation to start selling marijuana Thursday. In Warwick at Rise Dispensary on Jefferson Boulevard, a high volume of customers anticipated for opening day. The dispensary and Warwick police working together to implement a shuttle service for customers with parking at a nearby lot and buses to take customers to and from the dispensary to avoid a traffic buildup.
Jefferson Boulevard is a very busy street in Warwick. A lot of major businesses on that road. So we really wanted to make sure that we had a plan in place to make sure everybody had equal access to the roadway, everybody was safe, and that everybody could have a successful business day.
At Rise, sales will commence at 6 a.m. Thursday after a ribbon cutting celebrating the start of recreational sale. The other 4 dispensary locations in Rhode Island, in Central Falls, Providence, Pawtucket, and Portsmouth, also start adult sale Thursday. But although recreational sales are just now set to begin, recreational use has been legal since May after Governor McKee signed legislation legalizing pot. And in the 6 months since being legalized, Hart says Warwick PD have been working to identify ways to recognize high drivers to keep roads safe.
To go by the officers' observations of impaired driving, unsafe driving, their observations of the person's behavior. So it's a little more difficult, but we can definitely, we're going to be working to make it happen.
An increased police presence will also be on site at the dispensary throughout the opening week. In Warwick, Yanni Trigelis, ABC6 News.
All right, still to come on ABC6 News at noon. Residents in several towns across Louisiana and Mississippi taking cover as tornado sirens blared overnight. The latest on reports of structural damage in that area. Plus some nasty weather expected in our area too, but the annual State House tree lighting still set to go on. The details and what's going on outside the State House that may impact the plans. You're watching ABC6 News, Southern New England's trusted news source. Checking national headlines now at noon. Now to that severe weather down south. Multiple tornadoes touching down overnight and more than 24 total reported across Louisiana and Mississippi, and at least 2 storm-related deaths have been reported in Alabama. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Many waking up without power today with a tornado outbreak slamming the south. More than 24 tornadoes reported so far. High winds and heavy rain bringing severe damage to parts of Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi. In Jackson, a lightning strike caught on a driver's camera. You can see mangled, twisted metal in Monroe, Louisiana, structures reduced to rubble. In the Caldwell Parish area, 2 people had to be rescued from debris. Neighbors using flashlights to search for anyone who may have been trapped. The sheriff's department says multiple homes have been destroyed. For people in Minnesota, it's snow that's causing issues and dangerous driving conditions. 8 inches coming down in the Twin Cities, the airport closing temporarily, and over 18 inches in Utah. Multiple crashes on icy streets. This police SUV hit while responding to an accident.
There's been a number of people that have slid off the road, and maybe some that are just going too fast for conditions.
Other parts of the country are also bracing for severe weather. 7 states in the West, from California to Montana, are under winter storm warnings or watches, with more than 4 feet of snow expected in the Sierra Nevadas. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
All right, still to come on ABC6 News at noon. Windy weather on the way for our area too. How some folks out in Warwick are preparing to keep their Christmas decorations from blowing away. Plus, Nick has a look at the details on tonight's storm and your full 7-day forecast coming up. Rhode Islanders fond of a big front yard Christmas display will face a fierce enemy tonight, the wind. So they're getting ready ahead of time. Warwick Mayor Frank Picozzi is something of the Christmas decorations expert around these parts. Known for his huge home Christmas display, he says his decorations can survive 80-mile-per-hour winds, but is offering some other tips to homeowners.
Big inflatables, take them down, bring them in the house if you can, or in the garage, or put some bricks or things like that in there. The lights pretty much take care of themselves.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Nick Morganelli.
And time to make some preps for anything that might be loose in the yard, because we do have a lot of wind coming in this evening. Strong wind and rain developing this afternoon. It peaks right around the evening commute, and the wind chill returns for Thursday. Can you believe it? We're going to go from upper 50s today to a wind chill in the 20s tomorrow. That's the season, right? Winter trying to get a hold here, but fall and doesn't want to let go yet. Soaker Saturday, Sunday, sunshine. Say that 10 times fast, and then I think you're an expert tongue twister. Here we go. Futurecast wind. We've got 48 for a wind gust. A timestamp here, 4 o'clock. So upper 40s, upper 50s, up Block Island, 57. This is the Futurecast wind now. Here's 5 o'clock. We're still about the same numbers, but watch how the red zone gets in here, especially right here in Providence Harbor, and as we go towards Cape Cod and the islands. So wind gusts could top 50 miles per hour right at the shore, where there's really nothing to stop it, no friction. So this is 6 o'clock, and as we go to 8 o'clock and beyond, it shifts over to the Cape and then offshore. So here's 11 o'clock tonight, the wind starts to subside. It's still windy, but we don't have the gustiness of the wind. That'll come in with this cold front. Here's the shield of rain just to our west right now, and there's a lot of it here. We got to get through all of this evening. And as we widen it out, I went back 48 hours to show you this evolution of the storm. Little strip of snow here and some energy up over the plains. And watch what happens down in here. We just see a blossoming of moisture. Watch this. This caused a lot of severe weather, tornadoes over the southeastern U.S. yesterday. And that's the energy that is coming our way with this system, with this cold front and the moisture ahead of it. So here's this afternoon. Front pushes in, heavy rain during the evening commute. And then here's 8 o'clock. Everything's pushed east of us. And we actually have some partial clearing coming in here after 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And that'll drop the temperatures. You're going to notice the temperature drop about 20 degrees in just a couple of hours. It'll go from 60-ish down to about 40. So keep that in mind. Then we get wind chill tomorrow. Cold air coming in under a west-northwesterly wind. But then high pressure settles in by Friday morning. We get a frosty morning and not much wind on your Friday, but sunshine the next couple of days. Overnight lows tonight, getting close to the freezing mark here, 34 in Providence. And the forecast for tomorrow afternoon, 42, but again, the wind chill with the still breezy conditions, it's going to feel like 20s. Here's the 7-day forecast now. A couple of sunny days here, temperatures in the 40s. It's mild and rainy again Saturday. Not as windy as we have today, but certainly another wind, rain event. And then Sunday, Monday, we dry it out with sunshine, and temperatures fall back into the upper 40s for the beginning of the work week. So stay safe and plan accordingly with that rain gear this evening.
All right, thank you, Nick. Still to come on ABC6 News at noon, a car takes out the storefront at a CVS in Gloucester. What the pharmacy is saying about filling your prescriptions while they clean up the mess. In the State House, street lighting set for tonight on Smith Hill, but those stopping by will notice something else, why homeless advocates are calling attention to the tents outside. Checking today's other local headlines, the annual tree lighting ceremony at the Rhode Island State House will take place tonight. The ceremony back inside the rotunda. For the first time since the start of the pandemic, Governor Dan McKee and the First Lady will read The Night Before Christmas. The festivities begin later tonight at 5. Meanwhile, homeless advocates continue to call attention to people left out in the cold this winter. There are a number of tents set up on the Smith Street side of the State House right now with people staying there overnight. We'll have more on this starting tonight on ABC6 News at 4. The CVS on Putnam Pike in Gloucester remained closed this morning after a car went through the front of the store. Police estimated last night it could take 2 days to reopen as the damage is cleaned up. If that's where you get your prescriptions, they suggest having your doctor get in touch with another location for now. No word yet if the driver was injured or if they were arrested. The U.S. Secretary of Commerce and former Rhode Island Governor Gina Raimondo is in Massachusetts today, meeting with Governor Charlie Baker in Andover. Raimondo will visit a business called 6K to highlight efforts at the federal and state level to promote innovation in advanced manufacturing and clean energy technology. That's all taking place today at 3 o'clock. Still to come on ABC6 News at noon, Nick has another look at your afternoon forecast. Gray skies right now, but things could get worse as the day goes on. Nick will break it all down for you when we return. All right, Nick, gray skies out there, a windy one, but like you were saying, you got your gray tie on for the gray skies. This guy's weather coordinated today.
There you go. All right, well, let's see what's going on. Well, we'll just do this timeline one more time. So 3 to 8 o'clock is the worst wind. It's also when the heaviest rain comes in. Worst timing ever because that's the evening commute, right? But it all ends after 8 o'clock or so. And things get better. 7-day forecast shows a couple of sunny days coming up, but the wind chill tomorrow in the 20s. So winter kind of making a comeback here.
Yeah, definitely trying to hold it off as much as possible, like you were saying, but
that's right.
It's inevitable to come sometime.
Hey, I'm not forecasting snow.
Yeah, that's what I really like to hear. Thank you, Nick. All right, well, thank you for joining us on ABC6 News at noon. The news continues first at 4 later today. And for news and weather anytime, abc6.com is always on. Have a great day.